are, Marcel. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Fine. So I would like to know the keys of your speech for the people that haven't been able to be here today with us.
Okay, well, I was talking about the two elections that we have coming up. First off, the Brexit referendum in Britain on whether to leave the EU or remain in the EU. And secondly, the U.S. elections coming up, the U.S. presidential elections coming up in November.
So
about the Brexit, I was just saying that if they vote to leave, it will be a period of great uncertainty. Nobody really knows what will happen with Britain. And the markets don't like uncertainty, so the pound, it will probably fall. But also it will be a period of uncertainty for the EU as well. So I think the euro will weaken too. Not as much as the pound, but I think it will weaken. And if the pound and the euro are weakening, what will strengthen? Probably the dollar money will flowing out of these two will go into the dollar. The yen and the Swiss franc usually benefit when there's uncertainty in the world. And maybe emerging market currencies would benefit too, just because the Fed would keep interest rates low.
So what would be your advice right now, or for?
Well, I didn't talk about the question of will they leave or won't they leave. That's a totally different. My advice is, I think, well.
If you have an advice.
I'm not allowed to give advice. I mean, we're not a bank. We're not allowed to give advice. I would advise that traders pick some other trade. Because I think there's a lot of risk in the pound, a lot of risk in the euro. If you're a betting person, though, if you like volatility, then this really is the trade to be in. Because right now the risk premium is coming back. If you think that they will stay, you should be buying sterling. If you think they should sell, if you think they're going to pull out, then I think sterling can fall a lot further, and you can still make money selling.
And what about the U.S. elections?
The U.S. elections, this is the strangest election I've ever seen in my life. Nobody could have imagined this beforehand. The markets are really assuming that Hillary Clinton will win. And it looks pretty much like she will win. In that case, she represents continuity. The dollar actually did well when her husband was in office. So I think the dollar would continue to do well if she's elected. But if Trump gets in, it's going to be a disaster of unparalleled proportions. His ideas are so radical, so strange, and so different from what we've seen before. I mean, he wants to renegotiate the U.S. debt. This is crazy. The dollar, I think, would really, really suffer. Now, right now, there isn't much of a Trump premium in the dollar. But if you look at the betting sites, there's a 35% chance. The betting sites say there's a 35% chance he wins. I think that 35% chance isn't priced in. But we'll have to look and see how it goes and how the polls go once it gets close to the time to see if there is a chance of him winning. If there is, then I think the dollar will go down. If not, I see gentle appreciation of the dollar continuing.
So right now we are like waiting for the news.
It's probably too early for the dollar to reflect this. We've seen with, for example, the Scottish referendum in Britain, or even this referendum, people don't start thinking about these things until maybe 3 or 4 months ahead of time. But 4 months ahead of time, it's November, so by July, maybe after the conventions, the Republican and Democratic conventions, when they formally announce these people, then they start fighting. Then I think we'll start to see the dollar really reflect the impact of the possible potential impact of the election.
Okay, so just to finish, how has been the Forex day so far? Are you enjoying it? How do you?
It's very lively. There are so many people here, so many people who are clearly interested in trading Forex. It's really excellent to see such an active community of foreign exchange traders, so much strong interest in the industry. It's very encouraging for us.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Marcel. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Forex day that we are nearly finishing. And, well, I hope to see you soon.
Particularly looking forward to spending some time in Madrid afterwards.
Yeah, enjoy it. Y volvemos muy pronto con más.